Hello everybody, this is Sniping is Fun, and I'm back yet again for another Super Smash Bros. 4 topic related video. This time, I'm going to be going over the idea of a fourth third-party character on the roster, and what character choices I think might make the most sense for such a spot. I have about 6 characters here I'm going to be talking over, and the pros and the cons, the positives and the negatives, on why they should or should not be the next third-party character on the roster for Super Smash Bros. 4 on the Wii U and 3DS, if there is another third-party character on the roster. Um, and I'm hoping this video doesn't take as long as my last few topic-related videos, and so let's just get started, have fun, and see where we go from there. Hope you guys enjoy it. The first third-party character I basically think stands a chance of being the next third-party character in Smash Bros. 4, if there is another one, would be Simon Belmont, or just in general a Belmont member clan. Like, anyone from the Belmont clan, or just Castlevania series in general. It represents the Castlevania series, which has a long-standing history with Nintendo dating all the way back to the NES back in the 80s. They had games on the NES, on the Game Boy, on the Super Nintendo. I think there were some Game Boy Color games. There was one or two Game Boy. There was like 2 or 3 Game Boy Advance games. I think 1 or 2 GameCube games. There was Judgment on the Wii. 3 DS games, and so far 1 3DS game. The series is still there with Nintendo. It's one of the third-party franchises that still has semi-close ties with Nintendo. More so on the handheld side, but there are ties there. And Simon Belmont would also offer so much in terms of a moveset because of all of the little gadgets and weapons and gizmos that the Belmont clan uses as they, obviously fight vampires and whatnot. There's the whip. You can use the holy water, the crosses, the daggers. You can do a lot of stuff with their moveset, and you can throw even in some of the moves from some of the more Metroidvania games and throw in some swords and spears or whatever. You can throw in some kind of special attack, some of the monsters or something. You could do a wide array of moves. And Simon Belmont is a very, very popular character, very, very iconic, and like there is demand for him. He is one of the third-party characters I do see requested more than others, and I do believe he makes more sense as a Konami rep than Snake does, because he has more than closer ties to Nintendo. Castlevania has more closer ties to Nintendo than Metal Gear Solid does. So I think that's a so he out of my 6 choices here would be my number 1, would be the one I see the most likely, would assume is the most likely of the bunch. Um, and another thing, we have basically every other member of the Captain N team. That old cartoon from back, like, I think in the late 80s, early 90s, that basically dealt with Nintendo characters, or like video game characters in general that were on Nintendo, like, Kid Icarus Pit, Mega Man, Simon Belmont, Link, and whatnot. The guy with the NES Zapper as a gun. That old cartoon show. We have everyone else from the main team in that show besides Simon Belmont. So if we can get him in the game, it also finishes up the Captain N team, which I think a lot of people would actually like on top of that. The only thing I think really going against Simon Belmont or any Castlevania rep would be the fact that the series is not too much with Nintendo anymore. Like I said before, it's on their handhelds, but console-wise, we haven't got a game really since Judgment, and haven't got a legit game since the GameCube. So I think that might be a problem there, but you never know. Konami, maybe they'll start bringing the series back, because obviously there is a fan base for Castlevania on Nintendo, and there's obviously still going to be handheld pushes, so there's that. But like I said, there might not be enough recency, like in terms of Konami, in terms of giving them. And on top of that, it seems like if they, like, even though he makes more sense and is more Nintendo oriented, Castlevania rep, it feels like if Konami got a rep, they would try to stick with Snake, because Hideo Kojima's gonna try to be like, oh, I want my character back in. And I like Snake, I like Metal Gear Solid, but and he was one of my favorite characters in Brawl. I think Simon Belmont makes more sense though. The next character I would basically assume is a possibility of another third party character would be Bomberman, who, yes, is now owned by Konami, which makes his chances smaller, but I think it still kind of represents, Hudson Soft in a sense. Like, Bomberman also has a long-standing history dating all the way back to like the Super Nintendo, and basically continues to get both home console and handheld games for Nintendo systems throughout the years. An interesting new bomb move set. He's also a character that tends to get requested a lot, and you know, like he has close ties too. The only I think the major cons with him are due to the fact that since he's owned by Konami, Metal Gear Solid and Castlevania in their minds both come first. So even though I think he represents Hudson Soft more, and there's a lot of demand for him and people that do technically want him, I want him too. I do love the series, and I long history with it. It's nostalgic to me. Um, they would choose Snake or they would choose a Belmont or someone from Castlevania well before they choose Bomberman. So I think the only um, big major con in his book right now is the fact that he's currently owned by Konami and he's not an original Konami character, and they would probably rather have one of their own actually, and that's what I think about with them when it comes to that. Um, the next third party I think might stand the chance to be included in Smash Bros. 4 would be Bayonetta, obviously from the Bayonetta series, the first one, which was on PS3 and 360, and the second one now exclusive to Wii U, which now the first one's also coming to Wii U with extra content and whatnot. Um, there seems to be a new include, like a new Sega, like Nintendo with this Platinum Games and whatnot on this game, and Nintendo did save the series by funding Bayonetta 2 to be exclusive, so maybe there is some sort of bond there. Um, and the fact that since they did that, maybe there's a little more push to put Bayonetta as a third-party character in Super Smash Bros. 4, and she would have an interesting moveset with